Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome back to Tasty Bites Timeless Travels. Today is day 32, even though our thing says 33 because of the international date line crossing. But it's day 32 of our cruise around the world, and today is a very rainy day, but here we are in the Royal Kingdom of Tonga. Come join us. Unfortunately, the weather is predicted to be like this all day. There might be a break in the rain between 12 and 2, but for the most part, if we want to go out in Tonga, it is going to be this rain. It is going to be these wind gusts. I think I'm going to end up wearing a baseball hat just so my hair doesn't go so crazy and I don't get that wet. But we have our ponchos that they gave us, which I don't think we're wearing because they're just so big. There's an umbrella in the room. Plus, we both brought our raincoats on this trip because we knew that at some point we were going to encounter crappy weather. It's just unfortunate it's in Tonga. Tonga's very special to us. We have a friend that lives here. We're hoping to meet up with her around midday. She is a teacher. It is the first day of the semester in Tonga, so you know, she had to work, obviously. And also, what a crappy day for the kids to go back to school. Oh, that's like the sky's crying that they have to go back to school. But, you know, but Tonga is very walkable from our understanding. We didn't make a lot of plans because it was so walkable. Like, you can see the Royal Palace from here and things like that. So we're just going to kind of meander around and just enjoy it. There are some excursions today. You can go see where Captain Cook landed on the islands. You can go see some sites. There's a beach excursion. I do feel bad for those people. Hopefully they can get a refund because this is not a beach day whatsoever. But nonetheless, it's still beautiful. Like, look at how beautiful this is. It's very quaint. Something special about Tonga is it's the only place left in French Polynesia that was never colonized. They are still the Royal Kingdom of Tonga. They still have the king and queen through their history all this time. They were never taken over by the French. They were never taken over by the British, by the Americans, by New Zealand, Australia, none of that. They have stayed the Royal Kingdom of Tonga, never been colonized. So that's a neat fun fact about them. I remember learning that. This friend that we have, Seppa, we met her at the Polynesian Culture Center in Hawaii when we went to Honolulu back in 2015. She was a tour guide there, and we've just managed to stay in contact with her all these years. Thank you, social media, Facebook. It's the easiest way. And she actually lives in this town in Tonga, so super excited to see her. Hopefully she can meet up with us. She texted us this morning and said, hey, I'm going to take a little bit longer lunch so I can run out and meet. Well, she messaged us on Facebook. I'm going to take a little bit longer lunch so I can try to run out and meet you guys, because we haven't seen her in almost 10 years. But she always said how beautiful Tonga was, and it is stunning. Oh my goodness, take a look. Another fun note about today, we managed to get our 4-star today. I thought we were going to get it tomorrow. Like I said, we crossed the international date line. So even though our app is saying it's day 33, in reality, we're only on day 32. We actually extend all the way out to 126 days because they count the first day, or they don't count the last day. So that's why it would be 125, even though it's a 124 cruise. But because of the international date line, they've added another day. So now it looks like we're on here 126 days. But we're really only on here 124. But they went ahead and counted it. I was kind of surprised. So free laundry for us. So we're going to get a laundry bag together. We're going to go get some breakfast, and then we're going to go brave the wind and the rain, which, hey, we're Floridians. This is when you go to Disney World. Well, we're from Orlando especially. This is when you go to Disney World because it's least crowded. So we can trudge through some weather. We've learned how to do that. Plus, we have 2 sea days coming up, so plenty of time to dry out and relax after. But right, so we made it onto Tonga, but it is really, really raining. But they do have a little craft market outside the port. Unfortunately, it isn't gravel, so there are a lot of areas that are flooded. But nice crafts here, nice people here. Tonga's the friendly island, I want to say. So we'll see how today goes. Like I said, we've been to Disney World in this weather before, but we were a little bit younger, and you know, we were still kind of newer to the Orlando area, so it's still kind of fun back then. Today we do have a few different things. Got raincoats, I got a waterproof bag, I've got a junk pair of shoes, so hopefully my feet do not bother me too much, but I didn't want to get my nice sneakers super wet because it is coming down. It is 11:05. The weather is greatly improved. The problem is we are absolutely soaked. So we decided we never made it on the path that we thought we were going to make. We were trying to make it to the Royal Palace, and then it really started raining, and then we came upon a craft market. There's a ton of craft markets here, by the way, and like consignment shop things. And we just kind of diverted from the path so that we could be undercover for it, and we got kind of off the path. So we came back up to the cruise ship. We are changing into dry clothes. C thought she had a raincoat, but really she had something that was just water resistant, so the rain was too much for it, so she is really soaked. So we said, let's change into dry clothes, dry shoes, eat some lunch. Our friend from Tonga can meet us around 1 o'clock, so that is the plan. And then hopefully we can finish kind of touring. We had talked about maybe just, instead of meeting her, because she was kind of iffy if she could meet us or not, maybe just taking an island tour or seeing if somebody could drive us around for a couple hours because the rain was so bad. But they're kind of expensive. See, overheard somebody say a full island tour was going to be $160, so kind of pricey. That would have been cheaper through a ship excursion, so I don't know if they're just trying to take advantage of the rain or the time, or if that person was super specific as to what they wanted to see, and it's not something on the regular tours. But fear not, I think our afternoon is going to be a lot better. It's just, we were absolutely soaked. She might have to wear that big poncho that she got. She's been resisting, but I think even partway through the walk today, she said maybe I should have worn it. I know I stepped in a puddle, so thankfully I wore a pair of like cheap shoes. So hopefully they dry out. I'm in flip-flops for lunch, but I gotta put shoes back on when we're done, because I don't have any flip-flops I think are going to be sturdy enough to walk in this weather. Some of the sidewalks are really, really small, which is interesting because Tongas are a little bit bigger people. It's like a cultural thing with the Polynesian. But some of the sidewalks are like, you got like 2 feet, 1 feet. And they also drive on the other side of the road here, so I got really confused crossing streets. But thankfully, people are very nice and just let us kind of cross, because I did struggle with that. But like I said, the weather improved immensely. Look at it. You can actually see things now. So we'll get a little Lido lunch, and then we will figure out the rest of our day. All right, we hooked up with our friend. Let's go drive around Tonga for a bit. Yeah. Alright, it is 4:05. We have managed to make it back onto the ship. We think they are pretty much done for the day for letting people off because we saw them pull the podium. All aboard's at 4:30. The unfortunate thing about right now is the weather finally cleared. There is not a raindrop to be found. It is still windy, but the temperature, it's quite lovely. I think it's like 73 degrees with the wind, and it would be great walking around weather now. It's just, unfortunately, it's time to go. Now, it's unfortunate we had the weather that we had for Tonga. It was a stop we were really looking forward to, but you know what? Bad weather in Tonga was better than not coming to Tonga at all, so we'll take it. And it's just one of those things. We've had great weather this entire cruise for the most part for all of our stops. I mean, we managed to Easter Island twice. They made it to the Cook Islands also. So to have rain in Tonga, we'll take it. We'll take it. Like I said, it's better than not coming here at all. But now it's time to get cleaned up. This was our second set of clothes for the day because we were so soaked from the morning time. I did use my Holland America poncho this afternoon, so it wasn't as bad. Plus the rain really did start to let up. But it's time to get cleaned up and go hit up some dinner. So see you there. All right, appetizers have arrived, and I know what you're thinking. You got escargot. No, I did not. It was on the menu as a shrimp and scallop gratin, but it is the same dish that escargot is served in, but it smells delicious. I'm just waiting to see if it's shrimp is, well, it's scallops. I can see the scallops. But we're going to see how this tastes. All right, my appetizer was absolutely delicious. I could have drank all that butter off of the plate or margarine or whatever it was. It was phenomenal because it had like some lemon and spices in there. It was really good. So you got the shrimp cocktail, by the way. I didn't show it to you. But the entrees have arrived, so let's check out what we got. She got the ratatouille. That looks really good. She had it one other time and really enjoyed it, and it popped back up on the menu, so I'm really digging it. I went with a New York strip steak because there was nothing else calling my name except a pasta dish. They're getting me a little side of it. I hope it's a little side, not a big plate of pasta. But I got a New York strip right now. Fun fact, he just brought me the big bowl of pasta. I am not going to eat all this food, but it all looks and smells delicious. Check this out. We just finished dinner, and look at the weather. We have been gone from Tonga for 2 hours. That's it. 2 hours away from Tonga. And this is the situation right now. The captain also informed us while we were leaving Tonga in his little goodbye speech that he gives us every time we shove off from a port, that we can expect this type of weather for the next 2 days and possibly into our day at New Caledonia, which is our next port stop. So we have 2 sea days and then we're supposed to be in port. It's supposed to pretty much look like this the entire time. Whew. Be some long sea days. And with that, we are gonna call it an evening. Not a very big evening for us. It is a comedian tonight, and we, having had changed clothes as many times as we did today, and wet and all that from the rain and all that stuff, we said, we are just not even going to attempt to try. Comedians are very hit and miss for us on cruises. They tend to be a type of comedy that we're not huge fans of, so we said we're not even gonna mess with it. We went to the casino for a little bit, and we're just going to call it an early night. It's going to be an extra long day for us because we have yet another time changed coming up. We are going to be on the Fiji time zone tomorrow. So, not going to Fiji, but I'll be in their time zone. We also got a notification. This has been the hot topic right now with this cruise, is our stop in Bali and Komodo Island. So Bali, there's something up with the tides and things like that. Originally, we got a notice a few days back that said, we're going to skip Komodo Island, we're going to do an overnight in Bali. Everyone was excited that I had talked to, that had seen this notice, which granted, it was only like a few passengers. Mostly it was the crew, who a lot of them are from Bali. So they were super excited of the thought of doing an overnight in Bali, being able to see their families, all that jazz and everything that came with it. Plus, Bali is an interesting cruise port. It's very difficult for tourists. It is another 2 hours to get somewhere and 2 hours to get back. So we were like 8 to 3 or 4, something like that was the schedule. So we weren't actually going to end up doing anything because it was very expensive to go through the ship. And then it's very risky to not go through the ship because of the traffic. So we said, oh, we're not going to do anything. And then this overnight came about. We said, oh, we can finally do something. Because tours are not that expensive in that area, believe it or not. And then they went back and said, oh, no, never mind. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it as scheduled. And then Kimberly mentioned in her coffee chat the other day that there was talk that they're just going to flip the days of Komodo Island and Bali. And so that's what they did. You know, it's just flipping the days. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just everything that kind of came with it. I think I personally would have rather had the overnight in Bali and be able to see that area a little bit. But it is what it is. As far as the evening goes, dinner was amazing. It's you know, it was good. The pasta was really good. I wish I could just order this pasta with a steak and not all that other stuff with it. I don't know why I have to get both entrees. But, because I think they would have brought me pasta with chicken in it had I asked. But, whatever. It's what it is. But like I said, and I showed you the weather, that is our weather for 2 days, unfortunately. So it's going to be a lot of lectures and indoor activities for us, which thankfully there's a couple of fun looking ones tomorrow. No, I wouldn't say fun looking ones. There's one interesting looking one and one I'll probably sit in because there's nothing else to do. But I think the nighttime show tomorrow is actually something interesting. And the movie actually looks interesting tomorrow too. So, things to do. But otherwise, Tonga was amazing. I really wish we would have had better weather. We were so excited for this stop. And like I said, at least a rainy day in Tonga was better than no day in Tonga. But it looked like a really neat place to walk around. We walked around a little bit. We just got a little soaked in the rain. Stepped in a lot of puddles. You know, but it looks really cool. The palace is like right there by the cruise port. Like that's the palace that's right there. And then our friend Seppa, she kind of took us to the other side. We got to see the Navy base. We got to see kind of where all the locals kind of jump off and swim on the little, not really boardwalk area, but little like side area with little benches and stuff where they can kind of go and have a nice time at the water and watch around town. It's very different. It is one of the Polynesian islands, but I will tell you this, the craft markets were not the same stuff that we were seeing in Moorea and Papeete and the regular and Raiatea. These were kind of different souvenirs, and even Hawaii stuff when we went to Hawaii would kind of look like the stuff that we had found in French Polynesia. These were a bit different, so it was nice to see something different. The people were very friendly. I had trouble crossing the street, and I accidentally wandered out in traffic at one point, and everybody just kind of stopped and said, just cross the street, you're good, like, whatever. So, that was nice. Also, she said the Museum of Tonga, do not go there. It is never open. She is a school teacher. She tried to arrange for her class to go there, and they weren't even there when she had arranged, so that's a bust if you're looking at going to Tonga. Don't try to do the museum. It's apparently unreliable. But 2 sea days, then a day in New Caledonia. Hopefully we can find some better weather. It's some weird disturbance out in the Pacific. They call them cyclones out here, where we call them hurricanes in the Atlantic. It's the same concept. But you know what? We've been on this cruise for over 30 days, and these were the first bad days of weather, really, that we've come to is this past, few times. And it was our first port stop with bad weather, so I'll take it. So with that, come back and join us tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe. Keep following us along. Don't check out our Facebook. And we will see you again tomorrow for another sea day and another hour back. Night!